During the mission Friend Request, Michael meets a programmer named Ricky Owens at the Life Invader office. You might know that Ricky can be chosen as the hacker for the Evangelico heist. However, what you might not have noticed is that if you also select him as a hacker for the Bureau raid and the Union Depository heist, he actually gets better over time, to the point that Michael even compliments him for improving.
This guy, Ricky, I met him at the Life Invader office. He may not be that good, but he's enthusiastic. You gotta be kidding me! Why did I employ a hacker who can't run antivirus software? Ricky, I know he didn't do so good at the jewelry store, but he's probably gotten better, and he's still the same price. Hey, we got a problem up here. Sprinkler system. Can't see anything. Man, can a hacker shut it off?
Oh, I should know this, bro. I thought I had it all down.
Don't beat yourself up. Just be better next time, okay? I stuck with this guy at the jewelry store and then the Bureau. He's getting better, and he ain't getting more expensive.
Steve Haynes is quite famous in Los Santos for having his own TV show called The Underbelly of Paradise. You can actually watch the show on the in-game TV, and I do have to admit, it is surprisingly entertaining. However, if you choose to kill Steve Haynes in ending C, Dave Norton will later text Michael saying that he has now been selected as the new host for the show, meaning Dave most likely also becomes quite famous in Los Santos. We all know that Lucia will be the first ever female main protagonist in the GTA series. However, if you listen closely at Lucia's voice in the trailer, it sounds extremely similar to a GTA 5 NPC.
Trust me, this place is just the start for us. Betting is closed. Good luck.
That's actually because Lucia's actress, Manielle Perez, worked with Rockstar all the way back during GTA 5's production, where she voiced a minor NPC role. A decade later, she is about to become one of the most recognizable voice actors in gaming history. Franklin has a cousin named Tavel Clinton, who lives in Liberty City. You can find photos of him in Franklin's house and see posts on his Life Invader page, including one where he complains about Roman Bellic's terrible taxi service. Unfortunately, Tavel cannot be contacted and never appears as an actual character in the game. There is a Ron Noyle billboard in the Grand Sonora Desert that at first sight seems quite the usual advertisement. However, after the mission Monkey Business, where Michael, Dave and Steve raid the Humane Labs, the sign will appear vandalized. The advertisement slogan turns into polluting beaches until the last drop, while the company name Ron is spray painted into moronic. Now, the connection between this vandalism and the Humane Labs raid isn't fully clear. What we do know is that the raid made headlines in the news, and that the Humane Labs had been targeted before by animal welfare activists. It is likely that the same leftists also vandalized this billboard after hearing about the laboratory's raid. As for the exact connection between Ron Noyle and the Humane Labs, who knows? But considering that Just Stop Oil activists have about as much logical consistency as a tuna fish, it somehow tracks. During the last Epsilon mission, where Michael is forced to walk 2 miles through the desert, there was originally supposed to be a phone call between Michael and Trevor. For some reason, however, this call was cut from the final version of the game.
Yeah, Kiflum.
What? Where the hell are you?
Somewhere in the desert. I'm on a journey.
A large amount of peyote and ketamine kind of journey?
No, more of a search for the truth kind of journey. A test. It's a long story.
Truth? You spent the last 10 years failing that test, my friend.
Look, I gotta keep moving, T. Just 2 more miles to go.
Ugh, and you call me crazy.
During our last video, where we explored the GTA 5 beta version of the map, I mentioned a very early development picture of Sandy Shores inside the Yellow Jack-in bar. What makes this picture even more interesting, however, is the code on the tail of the plane, LS5680. The only place where we can find the exact same airplane model with that exact code is in the Thompson scrapyard. It is genuinely cool to see that Rockstar turned some of their early development props into actual in-game assets. there has been a decade-long debate about whether GTA and Red Dead Redemption take place in the same universe. One of the main arguments against this idea has always been that Red Dead Redemption references real-life locations like New York City, San Francisco and Chicago. But that doesn't quite hold up. In GTA 5, we can find license plates that literally say California, even though the in-game equivalent is supposed to be San Andreas. So if real-life names appear in both series anyway, using them as evidence to deny a shared universe doesn't really make sense. In fact, it does the opposite. It shows that the use of real-world names isn't a deal-breaker for the lore at all. In one of Trevor's Rampage missions, he runs into a Russian guy who claims he doesn't understand a single word of English.
Эй, передави документы.
What?
Паспорт давай, ебарь, мам.
I don't fucking understand you.
Да ты по-английски не шаришь. Что за хуйня с тобой? Я говорю, паспорт покажи. Все вы нелегалы как один. Ты по гражданским арестам, ты понял? Америка — страна возможностей, а я воспользуюсь возможностью послать тебя обратно через границу, откуда ты приперся. What?
What most players don't realize though is that this is the exact same man Janet refers to as her husband.
Whoever wins gets banned.
He's one. Ban him.
I can't ban him. He's my goddamn husband.
He's young enough to be your son.
A tiny detail, but a pretty great little Easter egg nevertheless. Most of you have probably heard about the cut GTA 5 heist where Michael and Trevor were supposed to rob Martin Madrazo's ranch. One of the possible approaches had them infiltrating the Madrazo mansion as clowns for a birthday party, complete with this clown van. Since the mission was scrapped, the van never appears in the final game, except during one Strangers and Freaks mission. While Michael hallucinates aliens in his mission, Trevor gets jumped by a whole army of clowns arriving in that exact same clown van. In Red Dead Redemption's New Austin, there is a Cholla Springs County and a town called Armadillo. Interestingly, both of those names appear as street names in Sandy Shores. In real life, towns usually name streets after places they have had historical road connections with, meaning the locations are typically geographically quite close. And that makes perfect sense in the game. Sandy Shores is based on the real-life Desert Shores, which sits right next to Arizona and New Mexico, the same general area that New Austin represents in RDR. All of this adds yet another piece of evidence suggesting that Red Dead Redemption and GTA probably do share the same universe. Have you ever wondered why Lamar sometimes feels like the fourth main protagonist of GTA 5? Well, it's very possible that he actually was intended to be a playable character during early development, someone through whom we would experience more of the authentic Los Santos street life. But that idea reportedly fell apart because Lamar's voice actor got tied up with other projects during GTA 5's production. So Rockstar chose to move forward with only 3 main protagonists, leaving Lamar as still an important but non-playable character. This also explains why Lamar's presence in the storyline feels so strange. He's everywhere in the early game, practically disappears in the middle and then suddenly returns during the final story stretch. His arc feels disconnected, because it probably was meant to be much bigger. In all barbershops across the map, there are these small spray cans on the shelves, which actually have a neat little animation when you shoot at them. It's a tiny detail, of course, but it's a great example of Rockstar paying attention to the small little things that make the world feel more alive. Speaking of barbershops, some of them feature a picture showing Los Santos about to be hit by a tsunami. If you go to the exact same spot where the photo was taken, you will notice a coral on the mountain. Definitely not something that would naturally be there. Move a bit further and you can even find a newspaper on the ground warning that the coastline is under threat. All of this ties into a larger theory that Los Santos was once hit by a tsunami, a topic big enough for an entire video of its own. While the 3D and HD universe characters are generally separated, there are a few exceptions, like Laszlo and the Grove Street families, who are referenced in both universes. What most players probably don't know though, is that one NPC in GTA 5 actually refers to CJ as being gutter as a motherfucker.
You know O.G. Johnson is gutter as a motherfucker.
That phrase implies that CJ is either dead or at the very least struggling massively, something I really hope isn't true. In the Alta district, there is a spot called Old Mexican Plaza, tucked away from the main streets. Because of its hidden location, it's completely unknown to many players. What's even more interesting is that there are almost no missions or activities tied to it, neither in GTA 5 nor GTA Online, despite the fact that the plaza is incredibly detailed for a location that's been barely used. I highly recommend checking it out yourselves next time you're in Los Santos. From 2016 to 2018, vehicle cargo was arguably the best way to make money in GTA Online. While there were 3 different classes of cars you could source, there was a trick to get only top-range vehicles. All you had to do was fill up your garage with every possible low and mid-tier car. Once they were all in, you could exclusively source only the high-end vehicles, making the payouts even bigger. I remember that back in the day, this was the method I earned over $50 million with in GTA Online, which for the time was an insane amount of money. In the very first GTA 5 trailer, there is a homeless man holding a sign claiming that a Serbian guy stole all his money. In 2012, this led the community to speculate that Nico and Roman might make a return in GTA 5. While that never actually happened, the homeless man can still occasionally be seen wandering the streets of Los Santos. Although Laszlo has been included in every single GTA title since GTA 3, he only made his first physical appearance in GTA 5, which is wild considering that overall he has been a part of the series for almost 25 years. In the Grand Sonora Desert, there's a viewing platform overlooking Mount Chiliad. On the information board, it notes that Mount Chiliad was first conquered by the Spanish in the 18th century, a nod to Spain's vast colonial empire, which once included the lands that now make up modern-day California. The seemingly never-ending construction of the Mile High Club skyscraper has long been a running joke amongst the GTA community, and in the latest Money Truck DLC, even Rockstar made reference the absurd amount of time it has taken to finally complete this building.
Saves us money, keeps our guys happy, and have you seen how long they've been working on that complex?
On one of the Los Santos highways, there is a parodic reference to the United States flag with the phrase, "This is broken, can I return it?" While this has been in the game since day one, a huge part of the fanbase has never noticed it. In fact, a Reddit post highlighting this exact sign received over 6.3 thousand upvotes, and I have to admit, in my 13 years of playing GTA, I have completely missed it too. It's wild to think how you can still discover new things in a game over a decade later. Anyway, that is it for this video. Let me know if there is anything you already knew or didn't know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.